What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a Netflix horror drama movie called Aftermath. Let's get into it. First off, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys checking out and supporting this channel. It means a lot to me. I know recently I have been busy with a lot of dental work and stuff like that, but we're doing good now, and I just want to say thank you. A little longer than normal, but my face was a little puffy, so I didn't feel like being on the camera. But anyways, welcome back. Thanks for coming by, and let's get into the #1 horror film of 2021. Just kidding, it's not this one. So, Aftermath is a movie that is a drama, horror, thriller, probably much more drama than horror, to be honest with you. It is from director-writer Peter Winter, who is actually more of a producer than a director, but he does have quite a few directorial efforts under his belt, including The Wicked, Painkillers, and more. We also have another writer for the movie that is Dakota Gorman. She's actually more of an actress, but she's gotten the writing bug as of lately, and she wanted to put her hand into this movie. This movie's also starring Ashley Greene and Shawn Ashmore. So what is Aftermath anyway? Well, it is not a post-apocalyptic film, that's for sure. Not that I thought that. But it's essentially about a young couple who have been married and things aren't working out because of some infidelity between one of them, and they want to start fresh by moving into a brand new house. The husband is actually one of those people that cleans up like crime scenes and stuff like that, so he gets paid to do it, so he finds the house on the cheap and market, and of course moves into the house. Weird things start happening, and there you go. That's the story. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, and I wish I could compare it to other films, but if I did, it would essentially spoil the movie for you. Now, what did I think of this movie? Honestly, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, it might be okay. A lot of people will probably end up watching it since it's Netflix, right? So I popped it on, kind of not expecting too much, and yeah, it came below my expectations, even worse than I expected. Unfortunately, this is just not the movie for me. It started off kind of like a Lifetime sort of family drama movie that spends about an hour and 10 minutes in the movie to really set up the whole story and the background of the family and everything like that as weird things start to happen. We're talking about a movie that's an hour and 54 minutes long, and personally, I think it's insanely long for this movie because one, it feels like, and I hate saying this all the time, but it feels like other movies I've seen, and some of the reason that they do that is intentional and some of it isn't. For Shawn Ashmore, I feel like this is kind of a step down a little bit for him. It just has this air about it that is like, wants to be mainstream, but is kind of more of like a, old TV show that you might watch. There's not really all that much that happens. There's really not all that much blood or anything like that. Like I said, it feels like a Lifetime horror movie, and I don't know why Netflix decided to pick it up. The acting's all, better than average for the most part. It does have sort of just above indie appeal. Nobody trying too hard. It's just kind of regular parts and everything like that. And sort of the things that happen in the household, I kind of called early on. Not that that matters. There is some twists in it that you're not going to figure out, and maybe you will. But by the time you get to the twist at the end of the movie, you're going to think to yourself, wait, what? Why? Why is this thing happening? Like, how did that happen? Why did it occur? And why did someone let it get to that? And there's zero answers. Like, none. And it kind of upset me. Because, like, for the first 2/3 of the movie I was watching this, I was like, I think it was about an hour and 20-minute mark. I was just like, okay, can we get on with it already? And then finally we get to the good parts, and it's this stupid twist that just bombs, like, horrendously to me. Like, I just felt like it just didn't belong at all. One, I've seen other movies like it that that I can't tell you what it's like or it would spoil it. But those movies are okay at best, and this one is not doing anything extra special to make it that interesting. And when all this tragedy happens, it's kind of odd, because by the end it seems like nobody gives a shit. And I don't know how to explain that without, kind of getting into details, so I won't. Maybe I should have like a little bit of a spoiler thing at the end, but I don't know if I really want to talk about it that much. Now, I should point out that this movie is based on a true story, which, we don't know how much of that is true, but I'm willing to bet you the last third of the movie is where things aren't real. This is based on a family that moved into a house and they started receiving weird packages and things in the mail, and it started getting a little bit worse and worse, but I don't think it's as bad as the ending of this movie. My mediocre response to watching this film an hour and 20 minutes in turned into complete flatter hatred of what they did for the twist, and even the light touches that they tried to add to the end to add this sort of camaraderie about the whole thing just pissed me off. It's weird. And I'm, kudos to them for making a film. I wish I could make a film. But if I were to make a film, it'd probably not be this one. Obviously, it takes a lot of people to make a film. And I don't know what went wrong. Maybe it's the writing in the story. Some of the makeup in this movie, some of the things that happen in this film is kind of terrible. And I don't know, there's just a lot of tropes in this movie that will just get under your skin, because, most horror movies have that, oh, they don't believe that person for this thing that's happening. And so all these things get spiraled out of control, and you're kind of like, the mystery is like making you point the fingers at everybody, which is fine sometimes, but this one, it just doesn't pay off. And the twist at the end really is just terribly disappointing. I'll be honest, I feel like this is at best a 4, if that. I mean, the twist at the end and then the additional little camaraderie things that they put in the film just unfortunately were not for me. And maybe I'm just too hard-edged horror to enjoy it, but I don't think so. I can appreciate films that don't have gore and things like that in it. If there's a good suspense and there's a good story, I'll get interested in it. But we get a moderately average film that has a below mediocre fucking twist that it's not even that it's not surprising, it's just done so shockingly hokey, and then there's no answers or reasons why that they're doing it. And yeah, I'm the kind of the person that's like, oh, I don't need answers for everything, but this one you kind of do, because you've invested an hour and 20 minutes into this fucking film and nothing has happened yet. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a Lifetime drama TV movie with a pinch of horror thrown into it to try to make it seem digestible. But unfortunately, all you want to do is shit your brains out and puke. And again, I'm sorry, if it's just not for me, it's not for me. But I don't find this movie going to be that intriguing to people unless you are the outer fringes of horror and just kind of like to peek in once in a while. So if you're like maybe a romance or murder mystery fan, and maybe you kind of like a little bit of spice in your stuff, then you'll enjoy it. But that's probably not the people watching this channel, as we like to watch horror. But what do you guys think? Did you enjoy the film? Did you like it? Did you think it was better than I'm giving it? 3.5, 4 at the most? I feel like it's a 3.5 total. I will never watch this again. There are some things that are good in it. Ashmore's performance is Ashmore-ish. I don't know. Made me kind of sad that this was part of the Netflix horror lineup. Doesn't give me much hope for what they got in the future. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. I'm glad to be back. We got some more videos coming on the way, so please stick around. I'll try to do as many as I can in as much little time as I got. So thanks for coming by and always supporting. And as always, long live the voyage.